I be getting to the money. Everybody mad.
There's a camera on. Now there's evidence. Start with me.
Yeah, that's why I helped you.
Trust me, there's evidence now. Oh, baby.
Oh,
Whew.
big sin. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sophisticated Ignorance. I am Naima Simone.
I'm Steven.
I'm Vixen.
He
I'm
was
out of
late.
breath.
Vixen was
I
late.
blame my white cohorts. So that's that. But yeah, today we have a special guest.
Mm-hmm. What up?
Oh, she doing her makeup too? Oh, baby.
Because you done brought a camera. I'm greasy now. I'm ran from uptown to downtown.
You ain't give it a heads up? Because I used to get yelled at when I
mean,
used
but
to tell people.
She should be used to it. She's a YouTube superstar.
Yeah, but a lot of podcasters don't video record.
Oh, well, no.
Yes, y'all next level.
No, she's on the camera all the time, so I figured she'd be used to it by now. So introduce yourself, Miss.
I am JustLatasha. I am a filmmaker, video producer, digital personality.
Talk about
I
it.
am the founder of Aurore TV, which is a streaming platform for Black indie content such as web series and short films. And I am a reoccurring panelist on the Grapevine TV.
Okay. I see we have another special guest. What's happening here? What's going on? Just keep going, don't
He's
mind
a
you.
professional. Shut the fuck up and keep talking.
All right. Well, as you can tell, Latasha has a lot of experience in the
Word,
field.
that was like the most professional intro we've ever gotten.
Yeah. Well,
I hate when people ask me like, what you do? I be doing shit. Stuff.
You know what I do. Like,
You know why I'm here.
check your Googles. Like, oh, man. Well, yes, before we get started, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor.
Oh, Scotch Porter, as always. You know,
man's-
use the code SI10. Make sure your beard is out here looking luxurious. And it's a black-owned business, so,
Word.
I mean, you got to support that.
And it's the first of the month, so we know y'all got money.
No, they don't. This is
You
right.
just paid rent.
Well,
Oh, I got to pay rent soon.
it is the first. Ha, April Fools.
And I'm the fool.
Boo boo. But yes, use the code SI10.
Leave home, they said. Being a man, they said.
Get a job. But
Ah.
yes, use the code SI10 to get all of those items so you can stay fresh for the spring? Question mark? Whenever that's coming.
Stay fresh all year round.
All the time.
All right.
Yeah.
I
All
mean,
the time.
but you
all
know,
year
spring is
round.
when the aromas start popping up.
Nah, they be
fam,
stinking
it
in
don't
winter.
matter.
So yes, so today's topic.
International purpose.
Today's topic. Don't do that. See, she's trying to catch me slipping. It ain't gonna happen today.
Oh, before we even get into today's topic,
Yes.
oh, what week this is gonna be? This is gonna be next week.
Mhm.
Yeah, tickets are still gonna be out.
Yes.
For the
Bruh.
live show,
We have a live show coming out by the time y'all hear
April
this.
21st.
It's still going to be on sale, so please go to sipodcast.com/events and buy your tickets.
Yeah.
We wanna
Don't
see-
scam.
We
Don't
want to
scam your
see
ticket.
you in the building.
Don't scam your tickets either.
They can't.
They probably could.
Can
They'll
you
figure a
can
way.
you skim Eventbrite?
Fam.
I mean, it is the future. So I
Fam.
guess.
You could do a whole identity. I think Eventbrite is like low key.
If you can steal a life, what's a ticket?
Really?
What's
Like
the
you have
ticket?
whole doctors out here that don't know. No
Yo,
license,
nah,
no
with
degree.
fam, when that little, what was his name? Dr. Love? Nah,
The
that
first
was
one, his
my
name was
nigga.
Dr. Love.
I
Didn't
still
he
bel-
get that name from like Napoleon Dynamite? No, the other one, Superbad. What's his
You mean
name?
Oh,
McLovin?
No,
McLovin.
McLovin.
Nah, that's
his
not the
name.
same thing. It's not the
It
same
don't
thing.
matter. I
Close.
still was fucking with him because he was getting his shit off.
Dr. Love was a real one.
Yeah, scam those white people. I ain't mad at you, bro.
Word. He out here getting it.
I don't even know who he was at, so
That's fine.
I'll wait.
That's
Somebody
fine.
else.
Let's dive into the topic, shall we?
Cool.
All right. So today we're going to be talking about basically like black media outlets as it pertains to like reporting the news and how we like pretty much consume our news, you know, out there, and kind of just like the ups and downs of outlets that we follow that might either jump the gun or like have either misinformation or too much information that we kind of like hang on to their words and just like, oh shit changed up, and I was like, damn, who to believe, you know? So it's like it's like black news, in other words.
Got you.
Yeah, because you know, I mean, especially you know, unfortunately with what recently happened with Nipsey Hussle, you know, R.I.P. You know what I'm saying? Like we're hearing a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And it's kind of hard to discern like what's real and what's not real. Like you know, everyone's coming out with their own like theories of what happened and what went down. So, I mean, especially with incidents like this, and just you know, in general, as we kind of consume news either on you know social media, especially Twitter. You know, it's really important to understand the importance of like doing research and not taking every immediate word for granted. So yeah, we're just gonna talk about it. Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're all on. Oh, well, you're not on Twitter. Awkward. Probably Instagram.
No,
Instagram is
doesn't
similar.
matter.
I mean,
No,
I don't
matter.
necessarily
No,
need
no,
to be on
it-
Twitter because
no,
everybody screenshot shit, put it on Instagram anyway.
Right. Well, I was gonna say Instagram is similar too, because you
Yeah.
could get news from there as well. So yeah, it's all about those social media outlets. So to begin, what are some of the like black news and entertainment outlets that y'all follow, and why do you decide to follow those particular
Ladies first.
items?
None.
None.
You always have a one-word answer to every
Because
question we have.
it's really that simple. Okay, I'll do it over again. I don't follow any.
You
Like,
just
what do
you
you
just
want?
said a couple more words.
Like,
Thank you for that breakdown.
that was better breakdown.
No, I wasn't mad. It was just always funny to me.
But then, all right. So how do you like get like?
Is
updates
there
on shit?
okay? Is there a specific reason why you do that, or is
Or
just
don't?
that just happens to be the case for you?
Why I don't follow any specifically?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't. I mean, we have Instagram, the Shade Room, like places like that, and I don't even follow those. I honestly get most of my news by word of mouth, or if I happen to be scrolling on Instagram, and even then I have to go out of my way to find out certain things because my Instagram isn't flooded with like stuff y'all would see. Like I'm a makeup artist, so everything's either makeup,
Just beauty or skincare.
beauty. Yeah, that's really what it
Dogs.
is. I try not to follow anything that's too ridiculously like negative. So
Right.
a lot of stuff I really don't see unless one of my followers happen to post it.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
how I get my
Okay.
news.
Fair.
Latasha.
I follow Shadow and Act. I follow Blavity, but I only follow their headlines. I never click these articles. Blavity and who else do I follow? Essence. I think those are probably the top three. And when it came to Nipsey, I think the first time I saw that he had passed was either from Complex or TMZ. But I mean, every headline was out and like reporting his death, so it was impossible to miss it. And I'm on Twitter 24/7. But for Black news, those are probably the three.
Okay.
Black news. For a large period of time, I was kind of like Naima, just avoiding it all because some publications, like the baller alerts, the shade rooms, is more nonsense than positive shit.
Right.
So for a long period of time, I avoided those. But for the sake of the podcast, I started following those again, just for the sake of like,
Knowing what you're talking about.
yeah, or like random shit that come across, things that I would actually want to discuss. I'll probably start there. For that,
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, for me, it's like I don't really follow like I guess the main three. There's the Shade Room. There's what you call World Star. I guess you get news
Oh,
from
I
there.
had to get rid of World Star from my life a long period of
Yeah,
time
I don't even
ago.
know
It
years
was
ago.
wilding.
I mean, they
years
still out.
ago.
They still out here reporting on some bullshit. Like,
Yeah, it was just way too much because it was like they don't even try to balance it. Like even though Baller Alert and Shade Room has their fuck shit about them too, at least they try to balance it somehow.
yeah.
World Star don't really give a fuck.
Well,
They
yeah.
will post niggas
Anything.
getting shot, everything, like literally.
Straight filth. Yeah. Now we're gonna talk about balance too. I mean, for me, I follow the Root, Very Smart Brothers. Like, it's not necessarily media outlets, so to speak, but like people that kind of report on the culture.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I kind of follow those things. Shadow and Act I follow as well. And yeah, I mean, it's really just offhand people too. So it's like sometimes I follow those things or follow those outlets and kind of get news whenever it comes, and then sometimes people tweet about it, and I gotta do my own little research and figure out like what people talk about. But when it comes to news, I go straight to Twitter. Like back in the day, you used to like turn on the TV. It's like, oh shit, what's going on? But now it's just like Twitter is mad fast. So you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit more instant to say like, oh, let me go to Twitter and see what's happening instead of let me go on my Facebook timeline because fuck goes to Facebook for news. Like,
Facebook is the new World Star.
yeah, there you go.
I haven't got on that hell site in years.
Hell
It's not even on my phone.
God.
It's not even on my phone.
Hell book.
No. Once y'all granddaddy start joining, I can't.
Do you get that creepy friend request?
Not
I'll
even,
profile
but
picture.
I get the conspiracy theories and the
Oh.
extreme racists. Like,
Mhm.
there's just no boundary on Facebook. Like, that status update has become the horrible site for like your diary. Like, we don't need to know half your
Everything.
we don't need to know the thoughts that you have like in
Right.
your update for every day. Just went to the gym, just went to coffee, checking in. Like, it's It's too much.
It's wild because Twitter used to be that in the beginning.
It's not anymore.
It's not anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
Twitter
Niggas
used to
there
be
for the
mad.
jokes.
Twitter used to be mad. Wild Wild West. You could just tweet about anything and dumb shit.
Good times.
And then shit twitched up. Word. The good old days. The golden days.
Used to edit niggas' tweets.
Oh, I remember doing that. I deleted my Twitter from 2018 and back.
Oh yeah, I cleaned my shit up.
Y'all
Y'all ain't canceling me.
Yo,
Nope.
I
Nope,
immediately
nope,
searched.
Looking back.
I immediately searched myself and.
I ain't even get the bag yet. You cancel me before I get the money? Nah, I'm gonna be tight.
Latasha 2012. Stop.
Don't worry, I'll research myself.
Nope,
You
nope.
got nothing to go back to.
Clean my whole history. I don't even exist. I'm like MacGyver.
I start with one tweet.
Nah, I clean my shit on a routine just in case.
You never know.
That's why I stopped being on Facebook too. Don't remind me who I was 6 years
Memory.
ago. What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
I was really out here. Wow.
No, I looked at my status update from when I was in college and I was like, yeah,
Word.
no. don't
Facebook
show
definitely
me
trying
that
to snitch
shit.
on you.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah.
Naima 2010 was
Ooh,
crazy.
gosh,
Fucking
what
algorithms, yo.
embarrassment. Jesus
That was
Christ.
a joke.
That's why I don't even go there no more. I don't even want to know. Everything I privatize, only I can see it now.
word.
It's
Same.
too much.
Yeah, privacy is important. But Facebook been fucking up with privacy anyway, so. Whoops. Yikes.
You sign your rights away to all of them shits.
What rhymes with collusion? Anyway, but yeah, kind of going back to that balance question, like when it comes to these outlets, do you find that there's a balance, there's a bias, like depending on the outlet, or is it just like one-sided information that you're getting?
I guess it depends on what the outlet is. Like, a Baller Alert, Shade Room, they kind of try to balance it, but their balance is more so like, instead of some foul shit, it'll be like more gossip related.
Right.
Or, oh, look at what this person commented and said about whatever the topic is. That's their form of balance. And they'll maybe like throw in the one or two, like, oh, this little kid is going to Harvard and they're only 11. But if you're looking at totality, it's very small.
Right.
But looking back on your original question, I think I follow more personalities as opposed to actual outlets themselves.
Same.
Right.
Yeah, because personalities, I probably respect them as individuals, so I respect their opinion.
Exactly.
So when something breaks in the news, they'll probably have a comment on it, and then I'm looking at it from that sort of perspective, as opposed to going to the media outlet, and more times than not, I mean, outside of the, I guess we're just strictly talking black media, but the other outlets is usually somebody white that's writing some shit about us and our culture, because we matter. We're number one in every facet, so those outlets tend to not view us in the proper manner.
In the same way.
Yeah.
Because their perspective is obviously going to be different because they
Yeah.
don't have that backing or that background that we could pull from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's weird because like similar. Because obviously the personalities are opinion based, right?
Mhm.
So we value their opinions, and we know that more than likely they're getting their observations based off of stuff that they read and they pull from different sources. You know what I'm saying? And they're more than likely the same sources that we're pulling from. You know what I'm saying? But the way that they kind of deliver their information is more digestible to us than like you go on a World Star or like a Baller, and it just seems very messy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, they hold themselves accountable, and then they hold their peers accountable. Because we're all human, so you may have an opinion about something, but like, yo, that's kind of fucked up. They'll at least hold their peers accountable in that sense. So that's why I would lean towards more listening or reading what they have to say as opposed to going to a media outlet. Because that's pretty much, we really don't have no idea in terms of how filtered that is.
Right.
Like, yeah, the writer may write something, but then that probably has to get approved by somebody. So,
To get approved. Yikes.
yeah.
Because there definitely be some typos sometimes. I don't know who's proofreading these things. Like, it's definitely hit send or publish, and that's that. And plus, those articles don't even be that long anyway. Like, as Latasha was saying, it's just like clickbait. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But yeah, speaking on that, like, I guess we kind of answered this question that they lean more towards, if certain outlets lean more towards opinions or facts, or if it's just positive or negative stories. We were just talking about before, like World Star is just a trash heap of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Maybe wildin'.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to World Star for any pertinent information. You know what I mean?
No.
I didn't even know that still existed.
Baller
World
Alert,
Star.
Bossip, like all these things. But
Nah,
I mean,
Bossip headlines is legendary.
oh, we're getting to that. Oh, Gold Star, standard. Oh man.
I almost got bagged by a guy who worked at World Star. I blocked him.
Ooh, whoa, we need more
Look at you,
details.
Blessing yourself.
I mean, you smart, but yeah, how did he even get into a DM? Like, how did this happen?
We actually met in person.
Ooh, first was it an accident?
No, this was a few years ago. Met in person, exchanged information. He's like, yeah, can I take you out? I was like, okay, cool. And he said something that tried to, like, play me. I don't remember what it was, but he said something that wasn't very nice. And this is what happens when men are intimidated by women. They try to, like, neg you. Like, they try to, like, punch you down to, like, you know, it's an ego trip. I was like, I think I responded, I was like, I don't really know. I don't think a college-educated woman would be whatever he was implying that I was. And he goes, you still talking about college? I'm out here getting checks. I'm working at World Star. And I was like, oh,
Wait, that's a
Sir,
badge of honor?
Don't lead with that, please.
I was like, yeah, I gotta go. And I just hit that block. I think that was the first time, like, I used, like, a block on, like, my cell phone. Like, a whole number. It was like, oh, I'm never speaking to you again. I don't know what that was.
That's crazy.
It was fun times.
Yeah. I'm so sorry you had to go through that.
Thank you.
Oh, well.
Scary hours.
Hey.
It's like, why are we fighting? Didn't you want to take me to dinner? What happened?
That's before you got smart.
You got angry.
Sounds like a World Star nigga to me.
Intelligent. I hate that.
That's before you went to college. Now I don't want to do that with you. No shout outs to World Star. Damn, that's crazy. Moving on. Yeah, so what are some of the wildest stories that you've ever seen, like, reported on any site that you've been on? Like what the fuck stories?
I'm not going first.
What do you mean by wild? Like unbelievable?
Like,
or
what the like?
too tragic?
Like, you are scrolling through Twitter and you see that one shit is like, what the fuck? Like,
My reaction is usually like, why would you even report that? Like when that guy was allegedly going around like killing people, it was like for a whole day, and they reported him shooting the old man. I'm like, why would you even post this? Like, why would you?
Yeah, that was.
I
Wild.
think my reaction is more so, why would you post this?
Right, that's what I mean by
like,
wild.
This is ridiculous. Like, this is very graphic. Like, why would I want to see a man shooting someone else? And it's okay. Like, some people have PTSD. They're dealing with a lot of things, and you're just going to post it. I feel like they have no kind of regard for human life. Everyone is very detached from any form of being empathetic towards just humans in general. Like, they don't care. Like, people literally don't care.
But that's the media outlet. That's the media landscape these days. Unfortunately, it's all about the clicks, right? So shock value. You're gonna put something on there. Yo, just shot like 9 people. Video. Oh shit, there's a video. Oh, I gotta see that. Like, and it's not even like the person viewing the shit. I mean, I think we talked about this a couple episodes ago on another topic, but like, your brain is not even conceiving the fact that you're about to watch a video of somebody getting shot, or like something really graphic that you probably shouldn't even be consuming yet. You know what I'm saying? There's a video. There's some type of evidence. You know what I'm saying? Because reading some shit like that is not believable. But a video, actual evidence, you want to see and you want to realize, like, oh shit, this is real. You know what I mean? Because reading a headline and actually seeing it happen or unfold is 2 different things.
This is true.
Yeah, that's it.
Who's next?
I think the internet is like the wild, wild west, where like you just have to enter at your own risk, because you might just fall into something that's like you can't unsee it. So be careful where you tread. But I have an experience that was too wild for me. So a friend and I went to, what is that museum? The Whitney on Little West 12th, and they had this exhibit, this virtual reality experience where like you put the head mask on, your entire 360 is visual, and you have to hold on to like this bar in front of you so you don't lose your balance and fall. And this white dude made this fucking art piece, and he's on his knees, hog tie. Shout out to R. Kelly. I hope you go to jail. And he's on his knees, hands tied behind his back, mouth gagged, and some fucking dude behind him has a baseball bat and just knocks him in the head with all of his might.
Was it Negan?
Wait a minute.
Was it Negan? Was it Lucille? This guy just wails on him, and the way I remember his head bouncing on concrete like rubber. It looked like a rubber ball is how hard he hit his head on it. Like, it just bounced like a fucking ball. And I snatched this thing off, and they had warning signs. They were like, this is really graphic, really violent, really graphic. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try. My friend, she's into that shit. I don't get it. I took it off in like Like, as soon as it started happening, I took it off, I ran out, and I just started bawling, crying, because I'm such an empath. I can feel everything. And, like, when I saw this happening, and he's putting himself at the mercy of violence, and it was supposed to mean something, and I'm like, white people are fucking crazy. And I was just bawling in the museum, fucking up my damn eyeshadow, thanks a lot. And
Thanks, Whitney.
oh my fuck, it was crazy. And then some older white woman ran up to me, enamored that I'm having this fucking emotional breakdown. What did you see and what did you feel and how?
God.
I'm like, who are you? Get out of my face.
You trying to be the white savior?
Just,
Get out of here,
I
bro.
don't know what she wanted. I'm like, this is not an interview. Like, out of my face. And I will never forget that experience. Like, I am not into violence. Facebook started sharing all these weird violent against animals, against children, against. There was a time where Mexico was having this huge war, and they're having these people like decapitated. Like, there is such violent, graphic, gross images out there. And just like you were saying, like, we are desensitized, we are detached, and it's like people's lives are like up for entertainment at this point. Like, I wouldn't be surprised we go in full gladiator mode, like back in the day, where like these people are just fighting to the death for a show. Like, it's crazy. It really is crazy.
But then what happens when it's our own outlets, like, who are utilizing these tactics to, once again, get these clicks, get all these shits? Kind of going into the next question, you know, what happens when they get it wrong? Who's responsible? Like, is it, I mean, obviously they're the ones that are reporting the news, but is it the responsibility of us as the consumers to say, like, nah, I'm not fucking with this shit? Or should it be them to, like, get it right the first time?
Yeah, Shade Room originally posted Nipsey's dead body. And people were commenting, like, you better take this down. By the time I went to go check Shade Room, they had it down. Like, people were like, I can't believe Shade Room, you posted that. I can't believe you posted that. Because there's video of Nipsey's body, like, on the ground, like, you know.
Yeah, I heard there was a video. I was just like,
yeah. Shade Room was one of the first people to post the actual video. And I saw people responding, like, take it down. And so they did. And, like, we do have that power as the consumers and as the viewing audience to hold these media outlets accountable and be like, this is, your boundary is right here. If you go past that, we won't be supporting you. We won't be clicking. And they need our views. They need our engagement in order to make their money. So us not looking will speak loud and clear.
Right.
Loud and clear.
Because it'll be quick for CNN to throw that shit right up on the screen, like, oh, well, the following shit is graphic, so don't watch, but we want you to watch. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, the fuck? Like,
there's no reason why I know Trayvon's body. There's no reason why I know Eric Garner's body. Like, there's no reason why we can see Tamir Rice's, like, lifeless body in that playground. Like, they show this stuff to us on purpose. But their money might be so much bigger than whether or not we tune in, because we're not their audience regardless. So,
do you feel like though it's kind of deliberate? Because they'll show us things that happen to our community, but I don't know the last time they replayed
we ain't seen no white dead bodies.
I don't know the last time I ever seen
well, Walking Dead, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know the last time I ever seen the planes going into the towers, and we know how they felt about that situation.
Okay. Well, we see that once a year, so let's be honest. I mean,
I've seen that a bunch of times.
I've seen that show on repeat. I don't need to see it anymore. No thanks.
Yeah. I don't know. What's the next question,
Okay. No, I mean, well, kind of piggybacking off of that question, so should it be the responsibility of these black outlets to report on black news only, or should, like, these white outlets basically, like, lead the reporting to us, in other words? You know what I'm saying? Because y'all can't necessarily report on our news, like, fairly. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It does.
Don't have, like, white outlets reporting on black stories.
Right. Because it's like they're not going to get it right. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be...
that either.
No, we can't control it, but I'm saying, should that be a narrative? Should that be like, when it comes to, like, the CNNs and the fucking Wall Street Journal and the Huffington Post and all these bullshits in the sense of reporting a story, it's supposed to be fair and balanced. Like, I went to school for journalism, and that's fair and balanced is the shit that we've been preaching, preached
don't
to.
Exist.
You know what I'm saying? But that shit don't exist. You know what I'm saying? Because you have whole ass fucking Fox News and friends reporting on bullshit and...
Right. That reminds me of Ferguson when that was originally happening and everybody was on Vine instead of Fox News because they weren't reporting the actual stories.
Exactly.
Like, they were reporting, like, black people looting, but Vine was talking about, no, cops are throwing tear gas at us and that's the smoke that you see. Two totally different stories. So, I don't know. As a community, as a black community, I think we know, like, where to go to find our news. I don't know if we feel like going after white media about the way they report our stuff. I don't feel like it.
Yeah, I definitely don't.
They're going to tell whatever story they want to tell. I mean, isn't that what's happening in the history books? Whatever story they want to be told is going to be told. they don't care about us.
Right, because they're writing the history.
Yeah, they don't care. So that's why I always say it's up to you to educate yourself on what you want to know. Don't rely on other people to tell you the story. Go and research it yourself.
Right.
And then you pick and choose what you want to digest and believe.
How much people are actually doing the real research?
No one.
No.
I'm not going to say no one. It's very few. But
Few
with
and far
social
between, yeah.
media, it makes it a lot easier for people to go out and actually find what they're looking for, if they're utilizing it correctly. I think that's the problem. We're not utilizing the information that's out there correctly.
Or they don't go
Or
into... No, go ahead.
Go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
Or they don't actually go into it with an open mind. They
Right.
they probably already have their own opinion, so they're looking for the outlet that supports their opinion.
Right.
And a lot of times that should be wrong.
Or looking for someone to just argue with. Because a lot of people,
Especially on
that's,
Facebook.
That's what
They
it is.
love
Even
arguing on Facebook.
in Instagram and other places too, if you happen to go and
This
read
is true.
comments, and even, I'm not on Twitter, but even when you see like retweets, which I've seen, it's just people feeling the need to have an opinion about everything. And it's very exhausting, and sometimes you just need to shut the fuck up. Like,
I definitely judge my friends when I see them on like shade room comments.
right, I'd be like,
about-
wait, you made a comment on this?
I'm definitely
but
not
even-
texting you back
but even
swiftly next
but
time.
celebrities
You're
even
definitely gonna wait for my response.
But celebrities, like the celebrities that we know of, like either Instagram celebrities or real celebrities, be following these sites and commenting on these shits. And
I
if
think they
anything,
get paid to engage.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, yeah,
And they
but
already
It
got
also
money. They got
heightens
time to bullshit.
visibility for them.
that's how the
Yeah. If you gave me money, I'm airing out mad people on Instagram.
Especially just loving hip hop and Housewives, the projects, all of them.
And you gotta look at it
I
also.
would watch that. I would watch
Wait,
that.
what you
religiously.
said?
That sounds like such a good
Wait,
show.
The Real Housewives of Vandermeer. Like, what are you
Ooh,
talking
Marcy
about?
You might be on to something.
Oh,
We might
wait a
need to-
minute, wait a
Marcy's
minute.
Yeah, I might need to
Whoa,
bleep
we
that
have
out.
to keep.
Yeah, I might have to bleep that out, yo.
The Real Housewives of
But yeah, but when you look at it, like, it's
Oh.
part of their branding. Like, for Larry, I mean, it's pretty much clear as day as to how Cardi began her stardom, but most of her success came from Instagram and all the
Right.
videos that she did. And then that eventually led to her being on Love and Hip Hop, and then she did whatever with it.
Well, look at the whole thing that happened with Cardi. Just speaking of that, like people dug up her IG live from 3 years ago, and now this whole story
I
of
didn't
like,
even know you could do that.
fam, you could access anything.
It was we didn't even have IG Live 3 years ago. Did we?
No, it was I think it might have been a Facebook live.
I don't know.
Facebook didn't.
I'm
do
about to
that.
I don't know.
everything.
It was
Fam.
probably just a regular video she uploaded.
Right,
somewhere.
probably
Possibly.
I don't know, but
Yeah,
somehow
no
someone dug it up because the internet is
And I have
mad.
my own opinion about that, but you know, my opinion is never the popular opinion.
Let's
Okay,
get ignorant.
but
Let's
what,
go.
okay, but where,
Go
where,
ahead.
wait, but where did you?
Because I
Where
might
did you,
side with you.
where did you first hear that story? Let's go around.
Like most things, someone told me at work. I work with a lot of younger people, so they know a whole
All
bunch
the
of
shit.
stuff.
They know the
yeah,
tea.
so they come and they let me know, and I'd be like, what? My opinion about that is, she's a stripper. You're paying for pussy, right?
Vagina.
Whether you're a stripper or not, whether you just want a bottle girl, just a bad bitch you see in the club.
Mhm.
I've been in those situations where as a man to see you and he wants you, and you're paying these bitches off rip because you know we not finna go back to the hotel with you
Definitely.
if it's nothing in it for me. So you're paying this woman to come back to the hotel with you already. So one, you're soliciting sex. That's illegal, right? And then
Ding, ding, ding.
9 times out of 10, you already popping pills. You already on lean. You already on something before you already get to the hotel.
Mhm.
So in my head, I feel like, did she actually drug them? I don't think so. I think they took that shit on purpose. They took a little too much. They passed out and she robbed them. Niggas get robbed every day when they go back to the hotel with strippers. Niggas get set up all the time when they go back to hotel with certain chicks. I know chicks, literally, personally, who set niggas up and robbed them. And they take that as a L because you got caught slipping. You thought you was slick. You thought you was going to get some pussy. And you got it. That's how I feel about it. That's exactly how I feel.
How that works.
No lies
That's
told.
how I feel. That's literally how it goes down. And now you're upset. Are you upset really because
They're not.
I can't believe she would do something like that? No, you just want to have an opinion. You just want something to talk about. One of the guys who came out, he was like, at the time I was married. So
So you're
you
wrong,
went
wrong.
to the club.
You're wrong then.
It's like there's no good. I'm not saying what you did was right.
Yeah,
At all.
morally it's wrong, but
that's something
that's the
you
game.
took it to the game. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the game.
game.
That's how it get played. You can't compare that to like a R. Kelly or a
Oh
Bill
no,
Cosby.
no. For
And
those
I feel
who
like
are,
I feel like that's
yeah,
what they
done
was trying to
done.
do. It's like everybody
Of
want to
course.
be oppressed. Everybody want to have opinion about that was done wrong. This was done wrong to me, and it's just like, bro, you was
surviving
buying
Cardi B.
pussy and you got robbed. Like that's That's what happened.
Nah, that's surviving Cardi B hashtag. Is
That's what
It's so
happened.
dumb though. It's mad
That's
dumb.
what
Shut
happened.
up.
They
Like,
couldn't find anything else to complain about because they don't like Shorty. So
first
it's
of all,
like,
Lifetime is not about to do a Surviving Cardi B special. Y'all niggas not getting on TV.
They got the check.
Spilling your
I got
story.
stories to tell.
and he legit said
Whoa.
I wasn't going to say anything about it because I knew my homies was going to clown me because I got caught slipping. That's exactly what it was. You got caught slipping, and I don't think she purposely went and drugged nobody because y'all be popping pills and all that stuff already in the club because I've seen it.
Well,
I've seen it.
first
I
time
mean, like popping pills on your own volition versus somebody drugging you is like
two different things.
it's a whole different thing. Like I understand in like survival mode, like people rob either gunpoint or drugging, and it might be the culture, but what if Cardi B would have drugged the wrong person who had his body rejected whatever the fuck she put in his drink, and now she has a dead body in her hands?
Yeah, we spoke about that too. What the person would die from it.
So it could be a whole thing. Like you can't control someone's health or someone's body. Like you're putting them in a life or death situation. Like their breath could get hollow, their heart could be weak, anything could have happened just so you can get a couple of $100 out of somebody's wallet. So like if we're speaking about consent, I'm positive she's not on the level of R. Kelly or Bill Cosby, but the larger conversation is how you handle people while taking away their consent. And that was the problem with Bill Cosby, is that he's slipping these quaaludes to get these guards down so he could do stuff to their body without consent.
He's not robbing them.
Right, but also it is a fake outrage in the sense that people are trying to do the surviving Cardi B conversation, because rather than be accountable, like, damn, as men, we've been really trash to women, and we've let rape go by, and we've let molestation go by, and, like, really, like, just taking that L as a gender and really stepping up to be like, we need to do better by women. It's like, see, y'all do the same thing, too. It's equal. And, like, trying to play that false narrative just so they don't feel like they're wrong. So that's really where we have a big problem.
See, that's that Grapevine energy. You felt that? Felt that? Yep. That's why she's on the show. That's the energy I needed. But yeah, no, absolutely right. I mean, it's just, I mean, once again, these narratives are created where, you know what I'm saying, niggas are mad hurt, so they create this surviving Cardi B narrative because they don't want to seem like they're constantly the enemy, or
we're not as bad as y'all
right.
make it
We're not
seem.
as bad, and like, look, see, we're victims too. Like, the fuck, shut up.
Niggas swear they
Shut up.
crying to be victims.
Word. And then when they're actually victims, when they actually get blamed for something, when they're actually at fault, there's like, nah, chills, no, man, fuck off.
Yeah. Or I'm flawed. You should have known this.
Or when Rasby says, hey, I was molested by Chris Stokes, and we go, oh, gay.
Right.
And it's like, oh, what happened to, how come men don't get a turn to talk about it? It's like, we've been giving you plenty of chances to talk
you
about
make fun
it.
of
You
each
don't
other.
want to.
Right. Look how you respond to each
You
other.
don't want to.
So why would I want
By
to say
being
anything?
doo-doo.
I hope Rasby is getting a larger check than everybody on the Millennium Tour. They owe him.
I hope he still gets help. I hope he's still getting
He
help.
needs
in
help,
every
and he
regard.
needs a larger check than everybody else on that tour.
There you have it.
Agreed.
Facts. 'Cause
Sorry, Rasby, we failed you.
I mean,
We totally did.
Was he the only one that got molested?
He says no, but no one else will speak about it.
because
Gotcha.
refer back to minutes ago, like.
Right. Yeah.
They're talking-
Male sexual abuse victims is a whole can of worms. It's tied into their masculinity, their ego, their identity,
Yeah, we did.
their
And
sexuality.
then they get confused when they're like, "Oh, well, why didn't she say something mad long ago?" It's like, nigga, you weren't saying anything to this day.
Woo! Woo!
So-
Vixen!
Hey, see, this is what. Come on, son. Come on, B. I'm just saying. Shit is crazy. All right.
What are you looking at me for? Don't start with me.
No, nothing's wrong with you.
Don't start with me.
I
Next
didn't
question.
start anything.
Next question.
I was just getting some validation.
You ain't get it. Next question.
You ain't get it.
Damn. All right. Moving on. So, what is everybody's thoughts on formulating opinions on the culture before we get the facts? Is that possible or dangerous? Like, obviously, you know, with news things coming out and whatever, people obviously have things to jump on first, like conspiracies and like, oh, well, we don't, like, everyone's famous line, we don't know all the facts. And yes, that is true, but at the same time, you could formulate from a certain situation where something's fucked up or something's just like taken out of context. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people utilize that line of we don't know all the facts so they don't seem like they have a bias or have some sort of opinion. You know what I'm saying? And even like with the justice situation, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people didn't want to say anything immediately, but at the same time, it's like, all right, based off of what you've, or at least already heard, you can formulate some educated opinion. And even if you're wrong, you know, come later down the line, you could realize like, all right, well, obviously I didn't have all the information. I was wrong, but based off of what I knew in the moment, you know what I'm saying, shit looked kind of crazy or shit looked a certain way. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's personally anything wrong with formulating an educated opinion based on the information that you have. Because, once again, let's say if all the information doesn't get out there or all the information is not, you know, assimilated, then it's just like, what do you have to go on? All you could go on is your opinion, because all the facts aren't there. And in some cases, you're never going to get all the facts.
You know the peace that comes with being quiet? Like you don't have to offer your opinion, get to tweeting,
Welcome to the internet. It's not exactly that
you
simple.
ain't gotta say not a goddamn word. Speaking of Jesse, like, I remember not saying anything, and then Ashley Acuna sent me the Grapevine casting, the call sheet, and I was like, dang. I think I opened that panel with, I can't form an opinion because it's so much information conflicting, coming out at the same time that how can you form an opinion? It was like nearly impossible.
It still don't make sense.
I don't get it. I was on Instagram Live today and people were like, talk about Jesse Smollett. I was like, I have nothing for you. I don't know what is going on.
Leave me alone.
I don't know what's going on. All I want to know if the Nigerian brothers are single. That's it. I can't form a further opinion.
Listeners,
than that.
if you are in contact by in any way with these Nigerian people, please
send them to my DMs.
Please.
They better not work at World Star either.
Do her a favor.
No World Star employees.
Word.
They are personal trainers to the stars. I'll take it.
World Star is exempt.
Except they don't know how to throw away receipts. That was stupid.
Well, unless you work at CBS.
And they bought everything all at the same store.
They shop together. We can see you.
Word, those CBS receipts be mad long though. It'd be mad hard to get rid of.
Uber is your fucking
You can
credit
tell
print.
they ain't grow up in New York City where you had to like steal from your bodega when you was young. You can tell they ain't had no experience.
Facts. They gotta get the write-off. That's all. That's why you keep receipts, no? Someone gotta pay for this shit. Someone gotta get reimbursed.
To finish his sandwich.
What is Subway though? I mean,
if you left at 2 a.m. to go get that sandwich, that's something that you really fucking want.
I don't even know Subway is open that late.
Subway shouldn't even be open. That part?
I ain't never seen a Subway open that late.
And even if it is, why would you go?
But when I say stuff like that, people laugh at me. I legit was like, but Subway don't even open that late. And they was like, oh, Naima, you're so silly. Bitch, it's not open at 2 a.m. My nigga, he wasn't going to Subway, bro.
Because those Subway in New York City close at like 8?
Mad early.
9, if anything.
But my thing was, he wasn't getting a sandwich. He was going to go meet a nigga. That's what I was thinking. I thought he was trying to meet a dude. I thought he was looking for a prostitute, honestly.
That's just not news.
Oh, yeah, buying sex.
2 o'clock, Chicago. Come on, fam. You're getting a foot long?
It was cold.
Not that foot long. Let's be honest.
Listen, that's honestly what I thought. I'm like, it's not open. He's probably like soliciting sex or something, and he got, that's what I'm thinking. He got caught up and he robbed her. That's honestly what I thought. And then after that, I didn't think about it no more. I ain't care.
Yeah, that shit just got way too confusing.
It got very Black Mirror-ish. It was just like getting out of hand.
And somehow they dropped all the charges. Like all the charges have been dropped.
Yeah, and then he's doing like community service or something like
and
that.
He did it because he wanted more money from Empire and he wanted to promote his music. I was like, this is very weird.
Yeah, none of it makes sense. It just don't make sense.
Right. And keep in mind, in the beginning, when we first heard about it, everyone, once again, had their opinions. And like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? It could be possible that these MAGA niggas with bleach and the rope and the... That whole recipe just sounded crazy.
Were they wearing, like, white powder? Because how did he come to the conclusion that they were white, 2 white men?
Right.
I guess the MAGA hats was an assumption, maybe.
And then how would they know where to find him? Like, they
Right.
came out prepared with the materials.
Wait, is that Jesse Smollett from... Sorry.
No, but they said that to him.
But how would they even know that?
You see?
Like, where to meet him,
see?
what time,
You
and they come
see?
with all the materials
This is
prepared.
You see?
They just happen to be walking down the street with
Yeah.
fucking all these materials like,
That's
oh,
Subway.
I'm just
And
waiting to
loose
lick
and
some...
bleach.
Right. I'm just waiting to get some
I
Negro.
don't
and
even carry bleach to the laundromat.
Right. Who uses bleach?
Not my G.
Shit was suspect from the beginning, but once again, everyone didn't have the facts, so it was like, nah, we don't know, believe him. And obviously, in a certain situation like that, you hear, him getting like beat up and whatever, you want to be prone to believe him first, but there was just certain parts of the story that was just a little like, what the fuck?
You mean all the parts?
Well, I was trying to.
There wasn't no part that made sense. I think he just got his name right. That was it.
Yeah, because I mean, his face was busted up, but I just can't compute any of the other stories, so I made sure to stay quiet until I was asked for my opinion. So
I think that's a very good point.
Yeah, I don't mention shit.
Shut the fuck up until you got all the facts.
Even when I got the facts, it was like, huh.
That's nice. That's
Keep
nice.
scrolling.
Right. That's nice. Just keep it moving.
Interesting.
Endless digital void.
Word.
Nah,
Well,
I'm good, yo.
everyone feels inclined
Till
to say
somebody
something.
give me a check for it. Y'all need to hear my opinion.
I just text Steven. That's usually what I do. Hey, what do you think about this? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay. That would be the end of it.
And that's how I don't end up on the internet.
Yep.
See, guys, we be out here
Easy.
teaching niggas shit.
Yep.
So the best way to avoid being a fool on social media is just text your friends,
Yep.
Word.
so they can clown you.
Especially if it's like very insensitive.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna definitely text Steven.
Keep it to the group chat. Yikes. Well,
Good times. Good times.
I mean, it saves you a lot of online embarrassment, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Does it?
Unless you
Unless you post
unless you
it.
post it on.
No, you're saying it saves people from online embarrassment, but they don't stop. They keep.
No, I'm
just
saying
doing the
if
same.
you keep your shit to yourself or to your close circle of whoever, then
But does anybody really get embarrassed? That's what I'm asking. Because they constantly keep doing the shit.
They want attention.
So.
You need
I
attention.
feel like
Social
people
media
are-
So
is
even
everything.
even if you get clowned for it or you're in the wrong, you're gonna just keep doing it again because it draws in attention.
I feel like there's certain people online that are just like they want to be dragged. No, I'm dead because they be saying some real
You mean
real
all the
dumb
niggas.
shit.
You mean all the niggas.
No, some like not even some I'm just being silly, like some real like I didn't read a book dumb shit. And they just
Again,
put it out there.
All the niggas.
Well, yeah, and it's just like why do you want all these retweets and likes? What does this do for you?
Validation.
Right.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
But you have 200 followers. Come on.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
that's
Just
gonna
because
help them
that
get
one
more.
person was like, yo, I fuck with what you saying, bro. That's all they need.
That's enough.
One
They
tweet
just
that
want to, it's the feeling of being seen, being acknowledged, being validated.
Yeah.
Y'all can see me. I matter. It's really
for that
sick.
one moment. I mean, come on.
People have done crazy things in the name of clout. It's been quite
For
stressful.
the name of clout.
Yeah, it's been quite stressful.
Cloud is your god.
That's a new reality show. For the love of clout.
That's two shows. That's
Oh,
two
oh,
shows we got.
You about to be
Yo.
sophisticated in your production?
Yo, where we
Listen
about
to
to
that.
sell out? Yo, y'all think I'm fucking playing.
BET be coming for you?
BET
I
ain't
have
got
2
shit.
cloutatious with 1 retweet in my hands.
Right.
Look,
That
man.
shit's crazy. Oh man. So how often do you find yourselves like doing research on these stories after you? All right.
Next question.
There wasn't a knock on that one.
Research.
Actual research. I'm not talking about like, oh yo, let me see the shit. All right, let me see who retweeted it. Yep, it's true. Like,
Oh, you mean like that?
right. I'm talking about actual research, not on some. Oh, let me see if the shit's on Facebook. That's on Twitter. Oh, 2 people saying the same shit.
Almost never.
Never.
The furthest research I do, if I see a Twitter fight and I untangle that entire thread to get to the original tweet that pissed the other person off, so I can go back and read the entire argument. And I actually have learned so much by reading Twitter fights. It's been so good, especially when like 2 like high following black feminists get into it, because I'm like, dang, I think I agree with
Spicy.
both of you. Who's right? Who's right? Oh, it's so good.
They both dropping facts.
how the
Yes,
tables
they
have
both
turned.
have, they each have so much like information. I'm like,
Right.
damn, you right. But then I
They-
read the response and I'm like, no, you right. And then I go back and it's so good.
Damn, you gotta cheer for both your sisters.
Yes.
When they both
Yes.
were right or wrong. Like,
Absolutely.
Start scrolling like, oh no, I'm gonna have to sit down for this
Yes,
one.
I have to untangle that entire thread to see where it started.
yeah,
That's yeah,
that's
time.
true. No, I don't. Do I do research? I mean, I do my best to at least try to, because when I see a story, I usually go straight to Twitter, and then I kind of just look at other outlets, you know, whether it's like black outlets or other outlets, and just try to get as much facts as I can in that moment. Especially if I'm invested in the story. If I'm not, then it's like, all right, that's wild. Like, keep it moving. I'll get to it later. You know what I'm saying? But if it's something like really crazy, it's like, wait a minute. I need to go back. I need to figure out if what this shit is like actually true.
Yeah, I don't do no research. Until I see somebody that I respect mention it, like the Nipsey thing, because there was a bunch of regular people that was saying he got shot. So it's like, I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt. And then it wasn't until I seen like people that's like in the industry, like Rockefeller affiliates, say like Nipsey got shot, or I hope everything's okay. Then I was like, oh fuck, that's when it hit me. But for the most part, like, nah, I ain't got time for it.
And you didn't believe the other people
make up. How many times they, say such and such died, and they have to go out and tweet like, I'm alive, guys. Like, I'm here.
I'm alive and well.
I'm doing okay. Yeah. So it's like, I don't got time to be researching everything.
And also, people need to reword their headlines about Betty White. Because I done had a few heart attacks about that.
Where like, they stay trying to kill her.
Open your headline with she's alive. We just want to say she has a nice outfit on today.
Exactly.
Like, don't. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, they be wilding out here. But once again, it's all the click shit. If they
just put the information in the headline, please.
No, that's too direct. That makes too much sense. You see, why would you want the information beforehand? You got to go to click read more. That's how they get you.
I have never clicked.
You don't click read more?
No.
You don't want to read
by
more?
Mistake.
By mistake.
Yeah, like if your thumb slip.
Your thumb slip. Come on, they're encouraging us
like
to read more.
You trying to scroll and then it just happened to tap the link. It's like fuck.
Yeah, I gotta read it.
Oh man! So at the end of the day, like, I mean, all right. Obviously, all these outlets have a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether you want your tea, whether you want some gossip, whether you want entertainment, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, is it like, should they just be taken with a grain of salt entirely, or is there some validation to these outlets for following them in the sense of like, yes, they have a different mix of news and whatever, but at the end of the day, I could trust them for the most part because they're probably either they get the news first, or you know what I'm saying, it's just like I've just been following them for a while, so there's kind of like a loyalty there.
I think it all depends on the outlet itself. You could pretty much pinpoint. Yeah, you could pretty much pinpoint who's credible or not. Like, if I see some shit on Shade Room or Baller Alert, I just automatically scroll. Like, I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about, unless it's something that I could take in context of like, oh, okay, this might be something interesting to talk about on the podcast. But outside of that, I don't pay none of them niggas no mind. Right. Because it's pointless. Because most of the time it's filth.
It'd be the commenters that make the shit crazier because it's like, it could probably be just a very basic topic and then niggas in the comments just be murking it up with their dumb shit. And now it's just like... As per usual. And now it's like, you just took a very innocent shit like, oh, I don't know, 11-year-old girl, went to college or some shit. Now it's like, oh, well, we don't know how she got there. Like, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
I told you, man, these niggas is out of control. Niggas just need to shut the fuck up.
Like, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm on Twitter. I do my best just to scroll, and if I knock into something, like, do my best to take it with a grain of salt until, like, I see, like, I go straight to the fucking, like, the moments first, or, like, the highlights, and see what's trending. And then that's when I can determine, like, all right, some shit is happening. You know what I mean? Like, some shit is going down. Instead of it being like, all right, one person tweeted about it. I was like, I don't care. Like, your fucking emoji still an egg. It's still an egg. So, how credible are you? Like, but speaking of headlines, let's get to the good shits. Bossip. Shout out to fucking Bossip.
They have a TV show now, correct?
Do they?
I feel like they do.
Bossip has a TV show?
I think so.
Where did you hear this news from?
I think I saw it.
Don't do that. You're on camera. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're on camera. Okay. All right.
Oh man.
All right.
That even brings me so much joy.
Anyway, so yeah, I took some Bossip headlines, and I just want to read them because these shits are just so fucking good.
Steven's laughing at me.
Yeah.
I know he's laughing at you.
Comes on We TV.
I don't watch We TV.
Yeah.
What's it called? I have no.
Bossip.
Well, I don't watch VTV. How am I supposed to know that when I don't watch VTV? I thought you just
But she said
Bossip has a show.
I said it.
Bossip has a show called Bossip. That's just mad wild. Like,
what they gonna call it?
Bossip TV? I don't know.
My nigga, answer.
Yo,
actually, what is the headline? What's the headline?
You get mad at me.
She been mad. She big mad.
I'm blaming your coworkers. Like, I didn't do nothing to you, son.
I ain't work today.
Oh, okay. All right. So
all that energy is because of you.
First headline. First headline. This is a headline from Daniel Caesar's bullshit. I don't know y'all. I know y'all heard about this story, but it says Freudian slip. Drunken and sunken Daniel Caesar defends Yes Jules and condemns black people for being too sensitive. Twitter kicks field goal through his Golemish gap teeth.
He brought it upon himself, yo.
I mean,
If you don't know nothing, shut the fuck up. Basically, that's all you have to do. If you don't know nothing, shut the fuck up.
but this is the problem with these youths these days.
The youths.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know the full story. They see one angle of this fucking Yes Jules chick, and then they're like, come on, guys. Let's all be fucking friends.
No, I don't want to be a friend.
I'm good.
Shout out to my boy Jameer Pond.
Yeah, shout out to him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has a lot to say about this. Or had a lot to say. I'm pretty... Man, fuck Yes Jules. Anyway, moving on. Oh, boy. Sausage party canceled. Candy Burr says threesomes are a menage a nah for her and Todd.
For now.
What do you mean for now?
They used to have threesomes, I think.
I don't know. No,
Or was
I
that a lie?
think Todd was trying to enact a threesome and she was like, nah, chill.
No, like I don't want it.
Yeah.
No.
I'm sorry, who?
Candy and Todd from Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh.
You don't watch the
And and one of them said no?
She said
Candy
no.
was on some no. Or according to this menage a nah.
Candy said no.
Right, that's what I'm so shocked.
Are you surprised?
Yes.
What? I don't know why.
Maybe at the point they're at right now in their marriage, threesomes is just no. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe
That
at this
dick must
point
be
now.
fire. She don't want to share it because she's a freak.
Yeah.
According to her. But you get something that's
I'm
fire,
so
she's
lost.
like, we ain't doing that.
Right. All of that.
Right, all
Well,
the
don't
all that
assume because of the
preaching she
sex
did
toy
about
line
her
that
sexual
she's a freak
liberation.
freak.
I'm surprised she ain't, because she was trying to back Portia in the club. Wasn't that a whole storyline?
Excuse me?
Yeah, Portia was a little tipsy and she was feeling the vibe, so it was like, all right, cool.
Interesting.
She pretended to go down on Cynthia during this live sex tour that she's doing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe at the point in their marriage and relationship, threesome is just not something she wants anymore.
I guess.
I think that happens.
Oh, all right. Well, y'all know more than me. I have no idea.
Never watched the show.
I would never sleep with them. I would never. That is the worst couple.
The worst couple.
Because they're both short. Like, I don't know. Like,
Wow.
it's weird. You can't be
Alright.
both
Yeah,
short.
Todd is short.
Yes, he
Todd
is.
is short. I know that for sure.
Todd is short.
Yeah, compared to Candy, yeah, they're definitely.
I can't have two small people, like, walk up to me and be like, so? I'm like, oh, absolutely not. Absolutely
What
not.
you're doing after this.
Double curve. Like, shit. Yeah, well. Yikes.
Sleeping with some Smurfs.
Y'all little. That's weird. That is so
Oompa
weird.
Loompa.
I guess the people gotta be little with them too. All three of them gotta be.
Y'all
short
gotta
because-
fit. Y'all can't have one long person
Son,
in the
having
bed.
a height requirement for a threesome is wild. Come on.
What do you mean?
A height requirement?
What is he? Yo, that's your man's.
What are you talking? What are you talking?
I don't want to look down and my feet go past your feet. That's crazy.
I mean, if y'all both laying
Are you
down.
sitting on the bed and your legs on deck?
I don't like that. That's crazy.
What?
I don't like that.
I hate that seems to be in my brain all the time.
Oh, oh shit.
I ain't got nothing.
That's funny. To the next one.
Another.
Alt-right bum fights.
What?
Crunchy edge.
Why did you pick these? What was you doing on the internet?
You pick
Making
bum
these
fights?
No, y'all not even listening. Wow.
I heard
wow.
bum fights.
Because
I
you,
haven't seen no.
you didn't hear the first shit. You didn't hear the first shit. There was more to that sentence.
Are we doing this again? Are we gonna do this again?
Go ahead. My
This is
bad.
from Bossip. This is not from me. I'm not making these shits
You
up.
should have picked another outlet.
Bossip got the crazy shits, not me.
Obviously.
Alt-right bum fights.
Okay.
Crunchy Edge Candace Owen and human spoiled mayo residue Tammy Lomaine are fighting over Kanye, and everybody is pointing and laughing.
Who?
Oh, you talking about white people? Next.
Candace Owen is definitely black.
They
I heard
over
Tammy.
Kanye. Why
No.
they fighting over Kanye?
I don't know.
So you didn't even read the rest of it. You just.
Didn't you just say you do research?
Nah,
Yo, next
I
one.
read- I read the
Yo, next
headline.
one.
Grant, we done.
No, I read the headline, and it was a messy ass headline, and I thought it was funny.
Gotcha.
This is the whole point. In moldy mayo news, Bathtub dirt ring post Malone claps back at spicy swamp critter Yellow Wolf ignites mustiest beef ever. I thought that shit.
I wasn't
So
really fucking with Post
nasty.
Malone from the jump
I
anyway.
mean, nobody
so
fucks with
yeah.
either of these guys. Hence, it being
And Yellow
moldy,
Wolf too.
moldy mayo news. You don't,
Yeah.
you don't
Dope.
follow moldy mayo on
I
Twitter.
don't follow any sort of news publications. Nah, no thanks.
There was a
Unsubscribe.
fan who tweeted that she threw up after meeting him, after meeting Post.
Threw up?
She literally
He made
threw
her
up.
sick.
I can't even think of him without catching a whiff in the air. Like, she was, I was so excited to meet him. He gave me a hug, and I ran to throw up. His fan. Like, yep.
Ugh.
How disgusting does he have to smell? Jesus.
Like old macaroni and cheese, probably. Like broccoli.
It's probably like Kraft macaroni
What?
and cheese too.
Like, this is nasty.
Nah, old broccoli stink.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
I don't think I've ever smelled though, bro.
Well,
Good.
thank goodness.
He eat his vegetables.
I
He eat
do,
all his
yo.
A lot
vegetables.
of roughage. You know what I mean? All that
Caribbean family, smacking the back of the neck. Yo, eat your shit. Yes, ma'am.
shit.
That's what we got.
That's all we have.
That's all you have? Yo, nah, I'm fucking with you.
Would you like to add some more, Nima?
Oh.
You got smoke?
Nah.
You sure?
Not yet. She got smoke for you.
Clearly.
You'll be alright. You'll be alright.
That's fine. Save the energy for the live show.
I got enough energy. I'll be
Where are
alright.
you guys doing your live show?
In this, I think it's like a poetry club, burlesque
weekend?
sort of jazz
It's
venue.
a Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday, April 21st, from 2 to 5 will be our live show at
Yes.
Dwayne Park in Soho.
So
Fun.
buy your
Mhm.
tickets. Tell your friends.
Everybody pulling up. I just, black folks wait to the last minute to do everything. That's why I'm not
Mhm.
stressing it.
Yep.
Well,
Literally everything.
we can't say we didn't tell them. So
No, not at all.
this
It's
is
gonna
why
be-
we're just contractually
It's
obligated.
gonna be a good time.
Contractually. obligated.
Just to say buy your tickets, because if we don't say it, then it's like, yo, y'all ain't say nothing. Well, now,
I mean,
now you're dumb and
I'm
you're
gonna
deaf.
start just texting people the link.
See, I ain't
Yeah,
got time for that.
That's a lot of work.
But your
Is
efforts
it
are
really?
appreciated.
Is it really? A
We're
lot
gonna
of work?
text it to each person, or you're just gonna like text it
Specific
to
people that actually want to go.
I just posted it on Instagram.
She's
Whoever
about
pulls
to
up,
kill
pulls
you,
up.
bro.
I don't know why. I did nothing wrong.
You better research that.
That's the next headline.
Latasha, I've watched Grapevine. I actually had Uchechi on my other podcast. She
Oh, you got 2 podcasts? You working?
Yo, y'all got me beat though, cause y'all be doing like everything.
Word.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I told her that too. I was like, nah, y'all queens, I can't fuck with y'all. Like she got 3 separate shows that she researched and do shit for. I was like, nah.
We basically lazy out here.
It's tough just getting through 1, let alone 3.
Word.
But yeah, I'm really a fan of Grapevine. Y'all do great work. The conversations y'all have there are very important. I haven't checked out the other stuff that you've done, but Grapevine.
Well, shout it out. Tell people your handles and your socials and all that shit.
So I have a comedy talk show called We Shall Overchug, which I host with Jameer Pond. I shouted him out earlier because you were doing a lisp, and he has a lisp, and I always tease him about it.
I fuck with you.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's the flagship show. Comes on every Wednesday on Aurore TV. I also have my daily vlog that I have on YouTube. So I talk about like trending topics. Today I talked about mourning Nipsey, while we also address his words considering the Black LGBTQ community. Tomorrow I'll be discussing why Lupita Nyong'o had to apologize for her use of a disabled voice performance for the
I
Us
saw
the
that.
movie. So I do important topics, but also talk about like fun lifestyle vlogs as well. And 2 seasons, my comedy web series, Sit Black and Relax. You can find that on AuroreTV.com as well. Follow me on IG, JustLatasha. I'm on Twitter. There's some chick with the tag JustLatasha who won't give it up, so I'm JustLatasha404 on Twitter.
You might have to send the goons. That's what we did
I
to
might
somebody.
have to send a goon.
Somebody
a
had
goon or
sophisticated
two.
ignorance, and we sent the goons after them. And
Hey, if you need 2 Nigerian
Listen,
guys,
this-
we could try to find them for you.
This poor, sweet, cute girl has not been on Twitter since 2012, but I cannot
Son,
get her up
I
off
want-
that name.
I want the fucking handle Vixen J without the underscore, but this, whoever
why don't
they
you-
are.
Why don't you go for VJG?
Nah. Okay, now you're being disrespectful. See, because she doesn't even get it. So
It
come
puts
on.
me to start. I'm not.
Don't
gonna
do it.
that.
I
'Cause
didn't.
you-
I didn't do anything.
We're in front of a
Company?
guest,
My bad,
so-
my
Oh,
bad.
now we're in front of a guest.
My bad.
Now we're being.
59 minutes in?
Now we're behaving.
59 minutes in?
I thought I'd give you the
She
last
did say
one.
she want the ignorance.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, I got a lot of sophisticated on this conversation. A lot of sophisticated.
More than normal.
Well, if you come back next time, we'll show our asses. Well, leave you me.
Not literally though.
Obviously not.
I hope not.
What?
All right, so thank you so much, Latasha, for joining us. You can catch us on all your podcast platforms, whichever one you listen to. We out here. And do we have any other announcements?
Nah, buy your tickets for the live show. Shout out to our executive producer, Bianca, as always.
Word.
Yeah, just fuck with the squad, yo. That's what we here for. Just, give y'all niggas dope shit.
Pretty much.
Have you guys had a trans person on your show?
Not
No.
yet.
It's been really hard for me to get someone who would actually want to do that. I've been trying because I have friends in the gay community and it's really touchy.
I hold you to it. I challenge you all.
I would love to have that conversation as well.
I still need to get that military person on the show.
Well, hey, we got time for all these topics, so let's make it happen.
Do we?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
I'm also searching for Black disabled influencers to join Jameer and I on We Shall Overchug. So if y'all know any, hit me up as well. And shout out to the model Erin. She is a trans girl who is also in a wheelchair. I'm trying to book her, but she's out being famous and fabulous.
I mean, respectfully.
That's how it usually goes.
Yeah, she's
yo.
booked and busy and blessed and beautiful.
Absolutely.
All the
All
bees.
black lives, y'all. All black lives. Leave no one behind.
All the bees.
That's my lasting message.
It's true.
I
But
like
we
that.
want to thank Latasha again for coming through.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
And yeah, I think that's our show.
All right, well, check us next time.
Bye.
Later.
We are out here. Fuck y'all talking about. Sophisticated ignorance. Are y'all fucking crazy?
That's a fact. Talk
Are y'all
that shit.
crazy? Yo, y'all getting me tight. Like, I be out here trying to be humble. Let's not get fucking crazy. Sophisticated ignorance. Alright?